As you can see here, I just pulled down the victory against Gwendolyn with this loadout, druids, banana farms, and engineers, with Bonnie as the hero. I'm about to show you how I did it. Of course, I had the idea of, would it even be possible to survive a game using the greediest possible loadout? So I went with Bonnie, because of course she has the minecarts you can shatter for money. I went with the druid because they have the thorns that collect money when you pop balloons. I went for the engineer for the balloon trap, which collects money when it collects balloons. And then, of course, the banana farm, the greediest possible unit in the game that has no actual popping power. So the first several times I tried this loadout, it was absolutely impossible to get past like round 25. Even 14 the first time is when I died. So it was a pretty rough loadout, but I finally figured out a way to beat the game. And this is against a computer, so playing against an actual smart human opponent might be more difficult. But as you see, I put my first druid down right away before my hero, and I got 1-2-0 at this point. Then I put down my first engineer right where the natural balloons come in, because the natural balloons are the only ones that you get income from in the balloon trap. So that's going to be my future balloon trap right there, but it helps with initial popping power in the game. Now we do want to let our lives leak down to at least 70, which is no problem with this loadout, because it's very much a struggle and a grind to get to even survive in the early game with this loadout. So you definitely easily can leak lives. Even if you're sweating it, it's still gonna be difficult to survive, especially with opponent rushes coming in. But as you can see, I got my druid up to the druid of the jungle, which will collect income with the vines. So that's my first bit of greed there. I also got the engineer up to double guns. So that holds them off for a while. Now my next priority is getting a banana farm up, and I want to get it up before the end of round 5, because then it'll get a little bit of income from the previous round. Get my banana farmer down, of course, to help with the banana farms, and I believe with Bonnie's minecarts as well. I'm not sure on that one. But as you can see, things are looking a little sketchy. I'm going for the greater production first. I was thinking about getting Heart of Thunder, but I figured greater production would be more important, because this is a greed loadout after all, and I wasn't just about to die, and I have a lot more lives I want to lose to get the maximum benefits of the druid. With the, you know, the druids, I can't remember that path. Anyway, I just set down Bonnie on round 6. Pretty late for a hero, but it doesn't matter because she's not really providing much popping power. So her level isn't that important as much as the upgrading of the minecarts, which you do fully manually. So it's totally fine if she's down late. As you can see, I've got my second banana farm up now, and I was going for 200 banana farms at the beginning, just to get as much cheap income as possible. And now I'm waiting to get Heart of Thunder until I leak a little more, because I do want a lower life rate, or amount of lives, you know. But at the same time, with the rushes coming in, it's not really something I need to worry about, because I know I will leak those lives later. Because again, here comes the zebras from Gwendolyn, and that's where I started to struggle. So I got the lightning, Heart of Thunder, just to be safe, because I was very positive that I could easily leak more lives later when it actually matters. Because at this point, I don't even have a Heart of Vengeance up, so the leaked lives weren't helping me at all. I got 2 more banana farms down, again, 200s. Then I got my cleansing foam up. I put a cleansing foam at the entrance of the opponent in case they send me some camo balloons. I'm ready for that. That's the only camo detection we have, is the cleansing foam stripping the camo off of balloons. So that's very essential to this loadout, and why the engineer works with the druid, who has no camo detection. So thankfully, engineer fills in all the gaps that the druid has, and they both have income options. So that's perfect for this loadout. Now I Got a banana plantations where I could. That's my next goal here. Coming in on round 14, I have 2 banana plantations. And I got valuable bananas on those as well. Get as much greed out of this as possible. Now, I just got sprockets and oversized nails and pins on that center engineer, which I forgot to tell you I put up. But that's just to give some extra popping power in the middle. As you can see, we are finally leaking those lives. We're down to 108, and we're probably about to leak more. So I put down my balloon trap on that first engineer I placed. So now I got 3 engineers, a balloon trap, sprockets in the middle for popping power, and then of course cleansing foam up where the opponent balloons are coming in to strip the camo off of them. Now I'm putting down my future Druid of the Storm and Super Storm, which is very essential in this loadout. Literally the only way to survive past 25 is getting that Super Storm as soon as possible, which with this build is very possible because you're getting so much income. We got 4 banana farms. We got that Druid in the center with the vines. I can't remember what it's called. Now we're getting banana plantations and valuable bananas again on the other 2 farms. And later I'm going to sell these farms to get the Superstorm upgrade when I need it. But it's nice having those farms there because you get a good return on investment even if you have to sell them. So now I'm laying down a couple more druids, or I put 1 more druid down with the vines, and then another cleansing foam because the computer's starting to send me camos, or the natural balloons, I should say. And as you can see, we're leaking a few more lives, which is perfect for the Druid Heart of Vengeance. Now I got those sprockets upgraded more in the middle. I believe, I can't remember what the 4th tier upgrade is, but I think I just got that to help me retain as many lives as possible, because now at this point I only want to lose about 20 more lives. And as you'll see in a bit, I will lose a lot more than that. Now they're sending me a fortified Moab, which I don't think like real life opponents do very much, but I just used Bonnie's special ability with the extra dynamite, and that very much helped me to pop down this fortified Moab. And I also think this fortified Moab helped me to finally reach the actually no, we cleaned it up pretty well. At some point I will get the full lives lost I need for the Heart of Vengeance. Anyway, just about to get my first BRF, because of course this is for maximum greed. And there we go. First banana research facility, and then they send me a BFB, which I was also a little worried about. So I got my faster engineering on my cleansing foam with the, I can't think of sentries. That's it. And eventually saving up here for Superstorm and Sentry Champion, which are my 2 powerhouse units when it comes to actually popping the big balloons. But there we go. We took down that BFB, no problem, by only halfway through the map. So they send me a fortified BFB. Next. That's the thing about playing against not real humans, is they're constantly sending you rushes. Because they don't have to worry about building their own defense. They can afford to send you more rushes. But I'm thinking about selling these farms to upgrade to Superstorm. That's why I was checking through them to see if it was worth selling. Because I need to get the Superstorm, I believe, to stop this fortified BFB. So I sent my level 10 ability from Bonnie just to slow them down a bit, because the giant minecart, even when you can't pop it. So I just upgraded. I put down a new engineer and got the Sentry Champion to be safe, because things were not looking good for me with that BFB. And that is a lot of extra popping power, especially since they send me a ZOMG right after the fortified BFB. So I need that extra popping power while I save up for my Superstorm, which I finally got by selling all of my banana farms. So thankfully I had those to be able to get Superstorm when I really needed it, because that's the only way to stop tight grouped Moabs or ZOMGs or anything where I obviously don't have the popping power to stop it in its regular amount of time. The Superstorm gives me plenty of time to pop it, and that's the only way to do it with this loadout that I can imagine. I tried a lot of different options in the Bloon Lab, and that was the only thing that could stop these tight grouped Moabs. Okay, so I paused here because my son wanted to read some books, so I forgot about this. Let me fast forward. And we're back. All right, so speaking of tight Moabs, she just sent me some tight fortified Moabs, and these are usually when I was cooked while testing out this loadout. But as you can see, getting that Superstorm by round 25 is very essential to survival. Now they're sending me tight fortified BFBs, but I got all my banana farms back up. I wasn't worried because I got some real heavy hitter units. Got those to 200 for now. Got 2 banana plantations and 3 banana plantations and 4 banana plantations. Want to get those rebuilt as fast as possible for maximum greed. But my Superstorm and my, Sprocket Sentry Tier 5, I literally just started using Engineers and Druids this morning, so I don't really know them very well yet. But now I'm building up my Poplust army around my Tier 5 units. I believe that Poplust is what gives a buff, which I don't know anything about. I just noticed this morning that they get a buff from that. So I tried using them on my Tier 5s. I think it's a maximum of 5 buffs, and it really worked out. So I need to actually go read and see what the Poplust does. I think it's the Poplust that gives the buff. Maybe it's the tier under it, the Tier 3 upgrade, in which case I might have been wasting money on Poplust. But either way, I won the game. So, yes, we got the Heart of Vengeance as well, which is very nice with this, 89 lives deficit. I believe I'm going to lose more lives to give the full maximum buff. But now I'm getting up a bunch more Druids with the vines, and then getting my banana research facility back and my plantations. Now I'm finally upgrading Bonnie's mine carts, because that's something I was neglecting a bit. But thankfully, now that I have more money from my farms, I can easily get those minecarts upgraded late game. Because they get pretty expensive to upgrade, but the investment pulls in a lot of income throughout the game. Ideally, I should have been upgrading them earlier, because you want that income coming in through the whole game, because that's how it adds up. But survival is just as important as maximum income. So I just got my Spirit of the Forest with the 5 buffs around it, and that will prove very helpful. You want all of your Tier 5 Druids for maximum popping power, and of course your Tier 5 Sprocket Sentry, whatever that's called. I'm getting more of these Druid of the Jungle with Heart of Thunder down for cleanup, and getting these ones down here fully upgraded, so they're 2-4-0s Druids. Again, I don't know if that's the best cross path, but I survived this game, so I didn't think it was possible earlier today with this specific loadout, so I'm pretty stoked that we figured out a way to do it. Now they're sending me tight ZOMGs, so I'm getting another Bloon Trap up here, and as you can see, now they're sending me a couple bads. I think that's 2 tight bads. Maybe it's just 1, actually. Yeah, I think it's just 1 bad. But I've used all of my possible special abilities and upload to the XXL Bloon Trap, which I realize now doesn't do anything to bads, but at least it will hold anything else back from coming through while we have the bad. And this is where the middle units really shine here. Getting my other Tier 5 Druid up, and I was panicking trying to find a spot for it with the bottom path Tier 5 Avatar of Wrath, and I wanted it by other Poplus, and finally we got it, and that's when the bad finally popped. And of course the Superstorm took care of the DDTs that came out of it, and also sent the ZOMGs back to the entrance which is absolutely beautiful. I really underestimated the druids. I never wanted to use them because they didn't have camo detection, but teamed up with the engineer, they're actually very powerful thanks to the cleansing foam, which is very underrated, at least in my previous opinion. I never really thought much of it, but it's very useful with units without camo detection. So survived the bad ZOMG rush there. Now they're sending me super tight BFBs, fortified, but once again, they're not a problem for Superstorm. Superstorm is probably the most essential part of this build because it's what keeps all these massive rushes from getting through. And as you can see, with the tier 5 druids and tier 5 engineer, we had plenty of popping power to stop that single bad. Now there wasn't a fortified bad. I don't know how it would do against a fortified bad, but again, we're going for maximum greed. So this is probably not the best late game strategy anyway. It would be a lot more useful if you could actually rush your opponent early on and take them out because you have so much money on hand. But again, this is just a test to see if you can even survive a full game, which we've learned that you can. So that's pretty dope. Now, some fortified ZOMGs, why not? But they were pretty much cake. I have another Sprockets engineer, 2 different Sprockets engineers up here. Now I'm going to start adding more banana farms, as many as I can fit. So here's 1, 2, 3, and get those all to BRFs. They're buffed by the tier 5, and then 1 more in this bottom corner here, and I believe that's all I could fit. 1 last BRF, and now we're just chilling because the map's pretty full. I have as many Druid of the Jungles as I possibly can, collecting income from cleanup balloons. I got my XXL balloon trap. I got a couple other balloon traps. I think 3 tier 4 balloon traps, and then of course Bonnie's minecarts and banana farms. Greeting as much as possible, plus 8,000 eco, which is pretty good for this round. It's 1,000 more than the game's suggested income goal. I think round 40 is 7,000, so we're way ahead on that. And you can just see this cash flying in from every angle. It's insane, dude. I love it. And I just keep spending. Now the reason I don't have a bunch of cash on hand is because I'm upgrading Bonnie's minecarts as much as possible, which at the level they're at now, they're 21,000 per upgrade. So they're getting almost 7,000 per minecart popped, which they're popping no problem with all these vines on here. See, all right, and that's a victory. Anyway, let me know if you've tried this loadout before, or if there's another loadout that you think is even greedier and can make you more money throughout the game. But I think this one is pretty dang greedy myself. Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.